Hello, everybody, and welcome. Hope you can hear us. Hope we're coming in loud and clear. Looks like we are. Welcome to Legends of the Old Kingdom. This is second season's 12th episode, and we are shooting for the end to be visible. We saw the shape of the second half of the campaign in meta-narrative terms, if you will, over the past couple sessions. I think tonight we'll start to see what sort of addition by subtraction we can do to some of the I almost thought of it, bloated storylines. No, that's not it. I'm just I, I have a feeling this could go pear-shaped for the party, and I'm a little nervous. It's true. Um, but let's talk about them. I'm Asmo Danica. We're Heathen Cantina, wearing some merch because it's that time of year. Time to stay warm. Quality products, please check our merch store. But before we do that, let's meet this wonderful cast, and I'm gonna ask them to say who they are, say who they're playing, and on the spot, no warning, tell us about your backup character real fast, if you wouldn't mind, before we get started tonight. No reason. Just think of it as insurance. You're free here to be as absurd as you want. Remember, think about it in terms of you're only replacing your current character's absence, not necessarily TPK, because then you should try to build some sort of synergies. But let's see what your backups are looking like. So we're going to start with Nick. I think that's an easy a slow pitch
Because he's the most likely to die, or
because he's the most likely to have backup characters.
Hey,
ah,
hi.
okay.
I'm Nick, or Unicronic, and I'm playing the party's Dampier Noble Drake Warden Ranger, Merkala Bloodfang. Our party's tank and warrior and all that good stuff. And so for a backup character, I mean, okay, so we roll stats, like full disclosure, everybody. We roll stats for characters. And while I want to say I have an idea, it does kind of matter what we roll, you know? Certain builds, certain characters will only work with certain, build wise, quote unquote, whatever. But I'm thinking barbarian. I mean, straight up, like if I'm if Merkala is the warrior tank of the group, a barbarian could also fill that role. Without like spell support or like a little pet to run around, but like in other pretty awesome ways. Having rage and damage reduction is always nice. Or resistance rather. Damage reduction, going back to, older editions. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe a barbarian, but also a paladin could be really fun. So, I don't really have anything else. Narratively, we've been working on this and finding out about this whole world and story this whole time, and it feels really weird to just let Merkala's should she die, let her story just end there. It since it has been 12 episodes of this season, a total of what, 22 episodes. So I might be able to
32.
try to 32.
Yeah, we had 19/20 episodes the first season.
Oh shit! Yes, we did. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 32 episodes. So it seems to just end her story and start something new now, like the whole Bazor, Wyvern Isles, vampire stirring situation. So probably someone somehow connected to that. I don't know. I will figure it out if I die.
Your sister, the
How about?
sorceress.
Yeah, right,
Scandal.
right. Or just pull the George R. R. Martin who's this heir? Who's the man from Dracosa who claims to be a Bloodfang heir or something? And why are they showing up now of all times or something like that? We also just had a huge planar incursion, so I was also thinking maybe a tiefling. So we'll see. Because through when Stygia took over Rockter or something. Anyway, I'm gonna pass this on for far too long.
Oh yeah, it's all
Hey,
good.
Teller, Arthur, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm Arthur. I play Teller.
our planar tiefling, speaking of, our planar tiefling whispers bard, slash warlock, who's been actually feeling, he realizes the pull of this wood for quite a while. There might be, there's a powerful draw here. Maybe it was influencing his decisions about whether or not to go help these poor shepherds. Anyway, if Teller eats it tonight, I do have two possible character concepts. Um, I'm not used to playing casters. That's not my usual. Teller is the first bard I've ever played. But in a way, bards can kind of only be replaced by bards. Full casters who are great faces. Yeah, so I had the idea just the other day, maybe yesterday, for a Warforged. I don't even know if Tom has them in the system, but for a Warforged bard who has a series of pipe organs inside of them. Like that is what their voice is, and that's how they make music. Their name would be Calliope. Like the Calliope Hurdy-Gurdy would be a great name for that for that character. I know nothing
You
else about them.
you were doing so well. You went from being like made of pipe organ material to having a crank in your belly on top of all that.
I'm thinking of well, it doesn't matter. Alternately, I could move away and do a complete, if we do TPK. Oh, I moved him. I had the idea for either an artificer or a rogue gnome who is sort of an engineer, an expert at taking apart traps and mechanical things,
Nice.
as well as, giant doors and buildings or whatever else might need. Maybe a trap specialist slash snapper was where the guy would be, I think. And I'm thinking black sheep of his family, very cityfied, probably from Rockter, seeing it's a town made of gears, and just super nerdy. I think that would be really fun, but would not at all replace Teller. That would be a completely different build. That would be more of a rogue skill monkey type. And we already have one, and his survivability is very high, our rogue skill monkey in this party. So, yeah, so I'm not really sure. I would like to hang on to Teller for a little while, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. That's like the fifth time we've said this in preparation for this session tonight. We'll just have to see what happens.
I roll in the open. We're gonna abide by what the dice do.
Yeah, so those are potential characters that I would create. How about you, Kelton? There, empty pockets, survivable. What are you thinking about for a spare character?
Funny that that you should ask today. Hey, I'm Kelton, playing Empty Pockets, our assassin and cleric of the grave. But I literally began the groundwork of two different characters, just in case. One is a Hexblood druid of spores from this motherfucking swamp. That it's kind of something that I've always wanted to do. And so that's definitely in the chamber. But I also have never played a fighter or a barbarian, so I also started making a barbarian, which is kind of interesting. This game is going a little bit planar. So I started making once again, tiefling, like planar tiefling barbarian, who is a Doomguard from Sigil. And there is an angle there for the involvement here. We have demonic influence a little bit, a lot of devilish influence, a lot of Tanari, a lot of Batazu. And they would be there as a barbarian to throw just lots of weapons at things all the time, to neutralize this, because if one side or the other tips and wins, it would be a problem for the Doom Guard. So they would want to just like level it out. So lots of destruction.
They call it
Yeah. So
neutralization.
yeah, that. Yeah, and
Literally leveling the playing field. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So I lay the groundwork on those in case I need to throw one together really fast.
Okay, that's cool.
And oh yeah, I have to pick a victim. Azadem, it's your backup.
So, good evening, everyone. I'm Azadam, playing Flix Dazzledove, our local wizard here. As for backup characters, I try not to devote too much thought to them because I almost feel like it jinxes it a little bit. But I've always wanted to play a druid and never have. And so I think that's the route I would take as a druid. Probably one that leans more towards like the polymorph side of things, or wild shape rather is the
A
term.
moon druid.
Yeah. And so I'm not
So the
super
moon-
familiar with their abilities yet or their spell list. I've been such an arcane focused person for so long. But I think that'd be a nice avenue to explore in the future. And so
Shift into Krynos and get 3 attacks around. Am I right?
Hell yeah.
Some werewolves.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
moon druid's very fun.
Yeah, plus from what I've seen, they're very versatile too, so they can fit into whatever niche you need them to, and I appreciate that flexibility. So, yeah, that's my pick, and I will pass it along to Eldine.
Hello, y'all. I am Sandy. I'll be portraying Eldine, our Goblin Hexblade Warlock, who really, no matter how this session goes, at the end of the day, Warlocks don't really get a happy ending. So hopefully it's a long way out. But if she should fall, I've been pondering, and I always struggle to come up with the character concept. Once I kind of flesh it out, I can kind of figure out how to inhabit the space, but have a hard time kicking off. And I was thinking about character inspiration, and once upon a time when I worked at the movie theater, there was that dude that was a good 20 years older than anybody there, baked off his ass all the time, but smarter than everybody. He just chilled.
Do
And
we
his
work
name
together?
was Pat. No, but anyone that worked, y'all know that dude. So I got my head around. I would love to play a turtle earth druid named Pat, and that would absolutely I feel like maybe if Eldine does fall here in this battle, perhaps there is some kindly turtle that's here to pick up the fight. But yeah, there does seem to be a druid vibe throughout the
Yeah, if we all die, Druid Squad.
It is
It's
good.
the woods.
Apparently, it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
We
a
just
druid.
play
Into
we play every subtype of druid. Just everybody picks and we
I
go
feel like
for it.
that's like a Captain Planet reboot almost.
I just like that you basically just went into a place. It's like wall to wall green mana, and you're like, okay, well, I'll drew it up. No, it's good. And
I have a
barbarians,
question
yeah?
for you, Asmo, actually. So we're using the Dampier, right, which is one of the lineages, and they're all introduced in the same book. It's not very appropriate for Merkala specifically, but we have 2 warlocks, and we've seen warlocks be risen in a matter by their patrons. If someone was willing, could they and they had a reason, like a patron, a shadowy patron, or a shadowy maybe god or not god behind them, could they make their character into a reborn and continue playing as quasi undead?
I thought about that hard for Empty Pockets. I thought about like make the character into a reborn, play Nilo. I thought about that, but
It's
I mean, it's on the
entirely
table.
possible. In the narrative, it would depend on the kindness of your surviving friends and the care they gave your body. But if they could transport your body to an appropriate venue, then such is just a small side quest away.
Well, I mean, the teller might be in a good place if we can track down some hags then if he passes.
Yeah, that does sound like some of their. If you want to be cauldron born, that's absolutely a thing they can do here. That's what the reborn in these parts are called, because that's how they come back. Put the body in a hag's cauldron, do a task for the hags, make an offering of flesh for the restoration of life, or something that'll pass for it. Expirations are just that, expiration dates. You can still eat those crackers. Hurry, the green pod is moving. All right. So, this was topical and relevant for me because I was struck with a challenge to come up with a character when all my backup concepts, if my barbarian had died, were casters, because I pictured more than one person dying if I died. Just, I guess that was overconfidence, which fits the character that I lost. And she was a very in-your-face, jump into the fray, just charge it kind of character. And she occupied the melee need in the party. So I knew I would have to occupy a melee need. If I went back ranks archer, then we had a cleric and a wizard and a sorcerer, fighter, multi-class in the form of Pandorica. But I knew I had to still be melee. And I did have a lot of backup concepts that were either really weird, but mostly they were casters. So I thought to play an android ranger at the end of the day. And I'm glad for it. I'm going to sneeze. Give me a second. Imagine my surprise. Okay. So
No sneezing and mime.
I was
Also, no baboons.
there's no baboons present. Not tonight. I took care of that. The challenge was to still occupy that role without feeling derivative or just a remake of the same character. So it was fun to explore the headspace there, and I'm really digging that. I'm just saying that I had to turn it around pretty quick, and without the proper one in mind, one emerged within the next 48 hours that kind of, leapt into my mind fully formed. So I'm just thinking, because we roll in the open and it's going to be crazier and crazier from here on out. You've just finished a fight, sent some shepherds on their way, escorted them to the edge of the forest, made your way back in with your two most qualified henchmen. You have a dwarf trapper named Crodan, Crodan the Wolf. He's familiar with woods, not these woods in particular, but he's Crodan the Wolf. It's the Wolf Woods. He's actually from Oatland, so. But he is familiar and comfortable in Fey-touched woods. He has been in the past anyway. We'll find out. His dice will determine if he's full of it. And an unnamed rat folk mercenary who has joined in Rockter. Yeah, there was no life for me there. I'm looking to see the big world. Oh, these are tall trees. So somebody who may be a little bit of a fish out of water. Those are your two henchmen. If you don't like them, send them back, get two more. But they do seem to be competent, confident, and available. We cool? We're gonna name him. Is he suddenly Rizzo? He's Rizzo. Rizzo the rat folk.
Okay.
So say the DM.
Rizzo
I was
and
going to say
Cronan?
Beazle. I was
So
going to say
say we
Beazle,
all.
but Rizzo works.
Rizzo's a little too on the nose. We'll go with Bezo.
Beazle, like
Beazle.
Beasle. Beazle.
Oh,
His name is Beazlewood, technically, but he goes by Beazle. And if you ask him why, it's his family name. You see this wood? This wood is a bit Beazly, and that is what we're named after.
and he points to the wood in the handle of his old form Imperial dagger. Oh, get your Beazle. There you go. Okay.
It's like Weasel, but with a B.
All right, we've got a Beazle in the party. Beazlewood. But I figured those might be better suited. You've got Crodan for melee capabilities, and they're both comfortable in a wilderness environment. They're not gonna. I didn't want to send you a couple of mercs and plate mail for what y'all are doing. You got a ranger and plate who knows how to wear it, and as long as you don't fall out of a tree, you should be fine. So speaking of which, we talked about paths to scouting and getting in a better observance of what's going on in the area. And these woods are a number of hillocks and streams, some natural springs, and in some places 3 levels of forest. The smallest trees, once you're under the canopy, are still 40, 50 feet tall as they struggle to reach the beams of sunlight that still make their way down to the forest floor. Above them, you have 100, 120 foot, occasionally pines. So you have a mix of deciduous and pine here. And then above them, you have these, a lot of people call them elf trees or elf woods, but they have several names depending on who you ask. The closest equivalent I could give you is they're much like the great trees of the West Coast in form of sequoias or redwoods. And they're older forms. They're more related to giant ferns, if you will. They don't reproduce in the same way as the coniferous trees or the deciduous trees. But you have basically 3 forests existing one on top of the other on top of the other. And it's in
That's so cool.
these spaces in between that you have different tiers for observation. If you go all the way up to the top, we're talking about 300 feet to the canopy top. And from there, if you're on top of one of the hillocks, and thankfully the forest does seem to accommodate that plan, you can get the highest vantage point if you climb a copse of these great trees. That's what I'm calling them. That's what I've always called them, the great trees. Because when the great trees fall, the world shakes. And as you climb up, you could get the best view of the furthest area. Also, because of the nature of the topography here, there's also a good deal of karst. So it's almost as if the wolf woods are the woods that grew on top of the very, very oldest mountains that have been worn down. Perhaps all of the lands in this world were one megacontinent, and this was where the mountains were. And as the continents spread apart and aged, the mountains were worn down, and this is the forest that has grown on top of them. The Wolfwood in Caleria. From here, on a clear day, with a pretty good eyepiece, you should be able to see the capital. But more importantly, you'd be able to see the spaces and the clearings. Because when the hobgoblins set to making war, they first clear timber to make iron. And you won't be able to see where they're doing that from the ground level. Now you can keep scouting for them, and you'll eventually run into some of their scouts. They send out patrols around where they make iron to discourage anybody from finding where they do it, and they make it fast. The kingdom has gone into the Wolfwood and cleared out hobgoblins. Every few generations they do this. But the hobgoblins are disciplined and tough to root out. And if you know anything about dragons, if a dragon's involving themselves, then they will all be on board with that plan. What's the plan that you have? You have 2 henchmen to dispatch. I could assign them to people, but we'll just make it a group effort for now. Everybody's got a character to play. You don't need to play 2. I can play 2. It's all right. But I'm curious what y'all want to do. Go ahead.
I just picked up some new ranger powers when we leveled up.
Ooh.
And I already have a climb speed and a movement of 40 feet, but now I also like difficult, non-magical, difficult terrain costs me no extra movement as well, which probably getting up to the top of the trees would be handy. And I can pass through non-magical plants without being slowed by them or by taking damage from thorns, vines, anything like that. So Merkala's gonna find the tallest tree and get that bird's eye vantage point.
Okay.
I think Flix would probably join
Come with.
in. Yeah, given that he can fly up there. And reconnaissance is one of his main objectives. Obviously, there's a dragon to eventually take down, but you can't do that without good intel. I mean, dragons survive for a long time for a reason.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I think MT is for recon purposes going to get up there. He's I'm sure the first part of the tree is an athletics check, which is not his jam. But I mean, at some point it becomes a trapeze act and he can use acrobatics to just swing between branches and continue. Hopefully that makes sense to me.
I can picture it.
But yeah, and also recon. And here's the thing, we've forgotten way too many times to get that sweet assassinate ability. Empty needs to be like,
we need to set up a damn
surprise
ambush
thing. He needs to go first.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna want to be on that team.
I really wish I had gotten the money to write down Arcane Eye into my spell book, because I feel like that would have been so handy for this mission as well. But I really just don't want to burn that scroll right now.
And Merkala commands Dusk to stay with Teller and Eldine to protect them, and also to come and find me since he can fly. Should they run into trouble?
Are Eldine and Teller staying on the ground, or are you going to climb up some shorter trees?
No, these hooves aren't made for climbing.
And that's just what they don't do.
That's just exactly what they don't do. Teller starts to pour hot drinks around and begins to like strike up a song until Eldine kicks him in the shin. Like, you're in the damn forest. Like, oh right, sorry. Have some tea. Yeah.
Yeah, Eldine will keep her feet firmly on the ground.
And I think we're just holding steady. We're just on watch, but we're not out and about. But certainly alert to what is happening in these woods.
Right, technically that's tree in the tree. What did I just say?
I mean, in the pipe 5x5? No, in the tree 3x3. I heard you. I just figured we could use this picture. Plus, it's a dragon leaf tree, and I really like the look of it because the roots look like dragon's claws. That's from
Yeah, it is party.
Kobold Press. Cool art. It's from Tome of Beasts. The plan is good. You will make your way up to the upper parts of the canopy, poke your head, see where you can, and come down and repeat the process as you move over.
Teller will pass off his spyglass to Empty Pockets.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Lovely. Thank you, sir.
So we get a long rest the night before this plan back at the camp. So I'm going to drop that on you. And I want to make sure that we take care of Flix's 26 hit points of damage and Teller's 5. Go ahead and give you all the benefit of the long rest. You earned it. Right. And that's where Beazlewood and Crodan the Wolf will go with you. I think they should be included in this. They're going to be like part-time party members here. I'm going to go ahead and make their faction friendly. And I almost want to make it neutral just so that they're color-coded for my convenience. Yeah, that's what we're going to do instead. But they are friendly. We're going to go ahead and put Beazlewood on the ground for now and Crodan the Wolf. I'm going to say Crodan the Wolf will probably stay with the ground crew. and Beazlewood will climb up with you. Let's hope he can. I haven't looked if he can climb. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. And Crodan's a little rough and tumble. Um,
Nice.
I think that's from the Creature Codex. Another Cobalt Press, but I love the look and the mindset. So you have a low level dwarven ranger with you. Nah, maybe not so low level, but also a
Peer levels, though. That's fantastic.
yeah, and the equivalent. I've used these stock NPCs when the party's like, well, we're gonna grab some of these henchmen we've been accumulating for a few months now. And I'm like, okay, here you go. Here's your henchmen. You earned them. Use them wisely. So you make your way. We're not going to have you roll for the first tree that you crest. This one's about 200 feet. You're in a little bit of a shallow spot, and you can see that there's these banks of clouds that sit like fog in the nestles of the trees. This is not one of those clear days where you could see the capital with the spyglass. It's rather obscured. Maybe as the sun rises higher in the sky, it'll burn off this mist. So you climb this, go down into a small creek bed. There's an old settlement here that nature has long since reclaimed. You can't even tell if it was a human settlement or an elf settlement. Just the indication of stones covered in moss where there used to be foundations. No wood remains. A taller stack of stones that must have been a well. So you might still be able to find fresh water here if you wanted to. This is about mid-morning. Have some of your dried fruit. I'll have you make some perception checks. Ooh, we're gonna make it sneaky. Okay, yeah, all right. Wow, that's really fascinating. I think that's the lowest perception I've ever seen. Empty roll. Empty, you don't see anything. Flicks,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
you might be consulting your tome at just the wrong moment for while everyone's eating and taking a chill moment. Maybe hastily penciling in a note that will allow you to change lightning bolt into force damage, also known as screw the DM's plans. Maybe that's just the verbal component. But the deer is noticed by Teller Merkala, and there's a full-grown adult doe at the edge of the clearing. One ear cocked into the forest to listen, and one ear on you, as they aren't staring straight ahead because they're deer. But they've got you at a slight angle. Tail flicks away an errant insect. They're about 100 feet away. Did you hear birds? You hear a stream?
I am going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Ooh.
And try to talk to this deer. You said we came back down for a spell?
Oh yeah.
Right?
This is a small
trees?
clearing.
Okay.
You came down at
Okay.
mid-morning. You're about to go up another hillock, which will take
Okay.
about an hour to climb, and then from there there's another copse of woods and a new vantage point. So you'll get to make like 4 or 5 peeps over the valley a day if you keep moving.
And she
And
let's see.
this isn't a corrupted area of the forest. This is a place obviously not in the dragon's path, but that doesn't mean the dragon hasn't stirred up people on the periphery.
And then as she approaches, she speaks to the deer, with the deer. I'm not sure how that sounds to everyone else. But she says, "Do not fear me." As she approaches, I mean you no harm. So that, can I use, since I'm talking to it, can I use persuasion
Sure.
on it to try to,
Yeah.
instead of animal handling? Okay.
I'll allow it. I like it.
I prefer the blood of vipers of the pit.
I mean,
Right.
after you've sampled, a viper of the pit, venison's not gonna do.
A little gaming.
Oh, did I send that? I thought I sent it.
You did send it. I'm checking off a point of luck. I'm going to use a point of luck to give me advantage on this.
Okay. Do you feel lucky?
Oh, I did not. You click the advantage button. So should I just roll, or can you just send me another one? We'll just take the higher one, I guess.
Another one.
Hopefully it's higher than whatever that was, since I can't see.
Mm-hmm. It was.
I come to speak to you about matters that that concern you and the rest of the woodland life here. Terrible evil has taken root in the forest. Tell me, do you know anything about it?
The evil is your kind's business. 2 legs. What concerns me are the acorns you and yours are trotting upon. I wished for my young to sup. Now they cannot. Take care, this is our land.
We will be more careful. We only wish to rid the evil from this forest, so that your young can grow up young and healthy. Tell me, have you seen any of these two-legged threats? They should have a different scent than mine and my crew.
They bring iron. Iron carries a stink in these woods greater than your steel. Iron hurts the kind. Tread carefully here. You've not made a deal that grants you safe passage. Your kind always gets it wrong. And she hops over a log, and there's a flash of white tail before she is gone. It was just a deer, right?
Was it?
Eldine, you have a strange feeling, and maybe it's welcome, you tell me, but you are sure that your patron is not here. They are not in these woods now. The talk of iron you may have heard a word in Sylvan or deer. That is something you're sure of. So it's not that you're safe. It's just you don't have anything to worry about for the next few days as far as an Archduke of Hell is concerned.
Yeah, whatever else is going on here, it does not involve my patron right now.
Your literally intrusive thoughts are at bay for now.
For now.
Isn't that
Teller,
nice?
on the other hand, is sweating like he stole something.
So do you check out the well, Teller?
The well? Oh, this is the well in this overgrown. The well is the well calling to him. He hadn't even noticed it until he double takes and sees it.
There seems to be a coolness about it. Could just be the stones. The fact that it's in a shady spot here in mid-morning. It hasn't yet seen sunlight directly upon it.
Let's go ahead and just cast some detect magic.
What's the range?
And as he does his normal invocation, show me something, grandmother.
Aren't you thirsty, boy?
Oh, shit. You sound so much closer.
I hear you walking
As
about.
he's walking towards the well.
So as you're walking towards the well, the camera pans out till we get this cross section of the earth, and below points where the earth drips down into chasms, and walking on the ceiling of that cave is an old gray crone. She reaches up to her, hoists a chain with a bucket, and as you approach the well, you hear water splashing and sloshing about inside it.
I imagine this as one of those scenes where everything suddenly starts dropping frames and the whole background dims out. And all there is Teller in a spot and the well in a spot. And he's not even walking, it's just a straight drift, like he's sliding along towards the well.
Then we get this wonderful crane shot that Panaflex zooms down as the well becomes larger and larger and larger in the foreground. And Flix, you look up for just a moment and you see Teller leaning over the well. The air is cool coming up from the cave you found, Teller. And as you look over the edge, you see a gray reflection in the water. It's like looking at yourself as a 1,000-year-old woman. The horns are irregular, whereas yours have more symmetry to them. Drink, and I'll see you tonight. See that the well goes down for about 35 feet, a single finger-thin prick of sunlight touches on the water below. You see that there's the remains of an old bucket there.
Let's let the dice play a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't want to give you a saving throw.
No doubt. Well, I think that's appropriate, though, and we can see how that goes from there. Because Teller's...
You didn't detect magic. You started that by detecting magic. I was going to ask what the range was, but it's more that the place is older magic. Flix, I thought I heard you chime in that you were going to as well, but again, range wouldn't have really told you. Just there's a baseline hum here. And Eldine, you're picking up on the hum of nature, but also that whatever resonance is attributed to this place is not conducive to your patron. You're not going to pick up that channel here.
The range on detect magic is 30 feet, but I'm assuming that everything is radiating low-level green is what's happening.
Yes, green, but there's an underlying current of decay. But that's more that we're getting into the cold and dark of the year, and the leaves are beginning to golden, soften, and fall.
All time.
No, fuck it. Teller's gonna go for it. He's gonna start pulling up the bucket.
Okay. You look down, almost expecting to find a metal chain, an iron chain. But although there is a metal chain, it appears to be made of bronze, and it has gunk on it from the forest and its droppings. When you pull up, there's some leaf litter in the top of the bucket, but it's not any decaying matter. There's no dead animals in it or anything.
Any leaf in water? T definition 7, any leaf in water. I imagine a gentle squeak as Teller's pulling up this chain and just saying to himself, so thirsty. Which is weird because he has this magical kettle that'll pour anything he wants.
Hmm.
Yeah, everybody sees this now. I'm imagining
In the
Nilo's coming
quiet,
back
in
with
the
some
quiet.
venison over shoulder. No, I'm just kidding. That's too much. But I'm like, you probably scouted the perimeter and missed this interaction, and you know
Yeah.
that the Fae are all over here.
Mhm.
But you could all be returning to your senses and wits as you see Teller about to drink from a manky old bucket.
With a glossy look in his eye.
Is it very obvious that he seems to be enthralled by
Or
whatever?
bewitched by something.
Well,
Yeah, by
now,
whatever Fey effect.
yeah, now we're gonna have him make a secret to him, but obvious to the audience saving throw, and then I'll answer your question.
He's more ecstatic, I think, is what's going on.
Mhm. Very good word choice.
Yeah, he's definitely glazed over. Lights are on. Nobody's home.
Yeah.
And he's not fighting
think-
it, I don't think.
No.
How far is Teller from where Flix is?
Yeah, 40, 50 feet.
Okay, Flix is gonna get a little bit closer to be within telepathic range, and he's gonna try to snap him out by sending a telepathic message just for him, essentially warning him of what's the best way to phrase it? Of like the bewitching
In Soul
here.
Salt.
Yeah. Probably with a commanding order of just like, do not drink.
I'll give you another saving throw for that. And I'll let you see this one.
Ooh.
How perfect. Yeah, you rolled a 7 before.
Wow.
Just so you know.
So I
Okay.
imagine Teller, he's got this like just the bottom corner of this mossy, crazy, rotting bucket as he's about to dump the water down on his face, and he kind of just like snaps out of it.
I'm just gonna empty is there probably already, like about to just grab it, but is like,
Was
And
that
Mercala's like, I've drinking worse.
Yeah, no, that's perfect that Empty Pockets is right there. So the Empty Pockets, who has been just obliterating himself with sulfane this whole time, comes up to stop Teller from drinking this foul water, and Teller just says, "But I want to drink it."
can?
that sounds familiar, but I don't think it's water. Not really.
Can I use survival to check out this well to see if it's actually potable water? Now
Sure.
that I see something going on,
Sure. Yeah.
I'll take a whiff of his rusty bucket and let him know if I think he can drink it, or would that be that? Yeah, survival I think would be.
Now, before you tell him anything, you could still choose to drink it. Was that grandmother that offered you the drink, or was it a local hag? And what's the difference? You seek a hag's wisdom.
I already benefit from her power. Yeah,
Which
but
is which?
if that's not her,
Who's zooming who?
yeah, maybe I should get him into a bidding war.
Yeah, and Mercala kind of wrinkles her nose at the smell. She failed her test. But she goes, "You know what? I probably wouldn't drink that."
It has a smell. You know, does it smell like it's going to make you sick? It has a smell, but it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell visibly There's nothing in it that smells like putrefaction or mold or anything like that. It's just well water. Maybe the well water that's been sitting for a bit, and that bucket has been down there
Okay.
for a bit. And you picked up a leaf.
I sometimes you might not know it, but I sometimes feel like I'm not really here or somewhere else. I think if you drink that, you might not really be here or not really be you. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
No, not today. Teller will drop the bucket back in the well. My whole life I've been serving others, says Teller to empty pockets.
yeah, fuck that.
Nah. Come on, brother. I have something better to drink, says Teller,
I
and he
bet you
pulls
do.
out his kettle.
All right.
Close one. It was a close one.
Let's get this tree back up here.
I bet that's not the last time I hear from her.
Oh, probably not.
Probably not even this session. So,
Uh,
so you make your way up the next hillock.
Mm.
You should reach the top of it by midday, and a bank of clouds has moved in, seemingly from the direction you just came. But you're making your way slightly north and following. I wouldn't call it a path of least resistance. You're really going over what geomancers would call the dragon path.
Before we ascend another tree, I tell everyone to watch for
Everything
acorns.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Let's not piss anyone off here.
MT
Watch.
very carefully avoids stepping on acorns. I also want to do before we go up, especially because there are clouds coming over and it's getting darker. As MT is scouting around and occasionally like checking on Teller a little bit, he's going to kind of drift off and focus on the shadows, not the light, the shadows that are being cast from the clouds and the tree branches. And probably mumbles something to himself like, "It is not the light that casts the shadows that pushes away the light."
Gonna give
And
task 1, 2.
perception check on what the fuck is going on here magically. Is this just Fey stuff? Do we have some Shadowfelly stuff happening here too? Is there some other? Yeah.
I'm gonna ask that you make this at advantage, if you wouldn't mind. You'll have to click the advantage button.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly do that. Sounds terrible. I hate succeeding. Ooh. I am
You
rolling
said it.
garbage today.
Get it out of your system. Elven accuracy does not
Yeah.
apply to this. So you're
No.
scanning and watching for the shadows, and you see over the tops of the trees the wind ahead of this cloud bank. It's not a thunderstorm, but it is the type of clouds that could drop a steady, clinging to you kind of rain. Kind that'll dapple the wool with droplets. And it's cooler, and the birds start to grow quiet. Kill the birds.
I shoot one.
Ooh, Inception.
I mean, it's not all that useful, but he will let the party know, like, we're about to get wet, like, probably that kind of like cold, disgusting wet that we don't want to be right now. So if you want to take any precaution.
So I'm gonna have everybody else make perception checks. Here we go. Here we go. But I am going to give you a hero point for that. Empty.
You mean inspiration?
Oh my goodness.
What
I
are we
understood
playing?
it.
Dirty.
What game is this?
I was
Hey,
talking
we
that dirty
made
play
it.
2E.
we made it a whole hour before someone
I
did
get
that.
on my motorcycle
True.
and I drive right the fuck out of here.
True.
I just want to ride my motorcycle. Cool.
I mean, I don't even know where I am right now, so it's fine.
All right. Here we go. Perception checks all around. Oh, it's not working now. If y'all could hit me with one of those.
Perception.
I'm not getting to do that again, right?
No need.
Yeah.
Did I get one?
No, it just bugged out.
LD
Empty
would
rolled
like
badly
to.
twice, and the requested rolls just stopped working. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna close it.
Hmm.
We'll open it and hope it works later in the session.
Good
But
times.
I didn't want it to get in the way of
Mhm.
keep it going. What's Eldine doing?
Burning a point of luck to try that one more time.
Okay. You thought you saw something through the rain, but
This is happening after, yeah. So, ooh, Makala.
LD ain't seeing shit either way.
Tell-
It's gonna be a
Tyler,
7.
with the sudden re-experiencing of the world, everything
Yeah.
opens back up. Other
Mhm.
senses are heightened.
some of this rain ran down your face, and you thought, "That's where I should get my water."
Mhm.
And there's a break in the rain. And Teller, you think you hear something moving about that is not a deer, is not a branch falling down from the weight of the water. And I'm glad that somebody on the surface and somebody on the canopy team also saw something. Because Mirkala, as you're scanning, you've got this view down through a break in the oak that's below this great tree. And there's no pines here to cast any of that going on. You've got this shot, and you're pretty sure you just saw a glint of metal and an arm holding it. So it's time for somebody to get back down to the surface. Teller, you know you heard somebody. You don't see them yet, but you're sure you heard the sound of somebody in armor moving about.
Mm.
Presume that Merkel's gonna let Empty know that up in the canopy.
They looked like they were heading towards our ground, basically our ground crew.
Yeah,
Like
it looks like they've
Okay.
it looks like they're en route.
Yeah. Mercala immediately tells Empty someone stirs below. I saw the glint of armor and metal. It appears that they're headed towards our companions. And I think she's gonna immediately start walking her sideways, gravity-defying way down the side of the tree.
Yeah, and
Beazle
Flick
with-
will make his way down.
Beazlewood
With that-
turns upside down and just starts diving with a rope in the back.
Yeah.
Nice. Teller will.
Hold up, I stepped on Empty accidentally.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Oh, well, I mean, it's obvious. Empty is going to do everything that he possibly can to disappear. And with that new information, try to locate the threat and get ahead of it. Like, get ahead of everyone else towards it. So that might require checks and stuff. But I think it's good for everybody if Empty gets the jump on it.
Gotcha.
Unless it's just like a buddy.
The cool thing for those in the I almost said Skyforce, if you want, you have that as an option. So, with Mirkala and Beazlewood going groundside because that's where they fight best. Did you say you're having Dusk meet you halfway?
Dusk's main thing is protect Eldine and Teller.
Okay.
So he's going to, if he begins to sense it, he's going to let them know. Once again, we haven't really discussed. We kind of playing along like he doesn't really talk much. He can actually speak Draconic, but
I'm actually like, I don't know how close this threat is, but like if I could, an ideal situation would be like cast bless on people underneath me, hide, try to get ahead of them and locate the threat. And I think at this point the party knows that MP is going to want to eke ahead a little bit.
Okay.
And if it's really nasty, obviously, let him start the fight. But I don't know, if I can get an idea of how close it's obviously aware of us. So I don't know if casting bless is a viable option or if I should just sneak up on it.
I was going to let everybody
try to understand the vibe.
Yeah, you didn't see something at a time when you're like, I totally should have seen something. You were scanning the big picture. You missed something, closer and more immediate. And these canopy trees are big enough where the branches, you've crossed a couple of them while the ground squad sort of moves about, and there's a rather gentle turning stream that had a bridge going over it that has long since, moldered away out of stone, and parts of the forest just aren't as occupied as they were. Humans tried to settle parts of the Wolfwood, and they're not here anymore. They haven't been for centuries. But as you start to make your way or look around, you see that there's a few places where there's an ambush has been set. You couldn't have climbed the tree with the ambush already in place, but it does seem that there's a twist in the river, and on this peninsula or stream, and on this peninsula between, there's 5 humanoids crouched down with leaves and pine branches and oak leaves stuffed around so that they seem to look like forest leaf litter. I'm going to give you the option of picking where you are on this map, but I just want to set it first.
Is it a different map?
Yeah, it will be. Go ahead.
As he gets into position, can he cast mage armor on himself?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Everybody's going to get one full action before anything's rolled.
Okay, well, so it's a dilemma for me as weird rogue cleric character.
Okay.
Is it reasonable for me to pop off bless and then sneak out in front of them?
In front of them who? Who's them?
In front of the party.
Yes.
To be the first one to lob an arrow at someone.
Yeah, I will still. Well, let's hope you roll high enough on initiative to do that, because bless would be the action, but I would still allow for a movement since you have the not tactical or not technical
bonus action hide. Basically.
But you basically have a free round, but it's not a surprise round because it's bigger setting.
Because
Well, I guess the question is if I don't do the bless and I sneak up, can I get a surprise round on one dude who obviously has no idea that I'm even in this tree?
Absolutely, and you still might once we roll initiative too.
Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna do it. I think that. Who knows? Let's be safe. I'm gonna pop off the bless on everybody.
Okay.
So.
You will have to get close enough to them to pop off the bless, and then.
Right, yeah. And okay, hold on. I gotta get rid of this tree. No, it's still a tree.
Yeah, it's still a tree. I'm keeping it vague. For just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer.
Teller, on the ground crew, whispers to the 3 of them right there. Well, 4 counting Dusk. Armor in the woods. Eyes up. spread out. I'll draw their fire. And he's going to go move to an exposed open location with a courtly step that was the dance that Mirkala and our good friend Clem danced at the Riverport Ball. It's going to begin to do this courtly waltz step out into the open.
Into the open. Excellent.
Into the open, yeah.
To the great wide open.
Something has changed
As
for Tella.
loves.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what, but just now, the bravado has shifted. Something is different.
It's actually been a bit of a slow burn. You've been moving in this direction for a minute.
Yeah, but here we are now.
Yeah, now it's getting hard.
Okay.
Now it's real.
Mercala's going to use this time to move down and through the trees, and I'll use whatever athletics, whatever, plus, she's natural climb speed, but to get a natural climb speed that doesn't require her using her hands, so she can be actually rattling her weapons while she's doing this. But she wants to get in and closest to the biggest amount of enemies as possible before anything springs. That's what she's trying to do.
Gotcha.
And she also, she's loud because she is wearing half plate, but she doesn't leave any traces in these magical plants.
Yeah, and there's a difference between wearing magical half plate, throwing caution to the wind, and running at your enemies amounts of noise, and being proficient in your armor and moving quietly and not drawing attention, knowing
Yeah,
you know.
and I appreciate that, because if Empty can get one shot in before anybody is aware, that's huge.
You spy with your eyes a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on. 4. Okay. An armor-plated, very tall hobgoblin. He's not pointing at you. He's crouched down, but he also scanning. He's wearing a helmet too. But you definitely recognize the ears sticking out of the side of the helmet, and the part of his face that is revealed. You recognize he's a hobgoblin. And the hobgoblins here have made war against the Fae to varying degrees of success. It's a fight that's older than humans or even elves or half-elves coming to this part of the woods. The elves threw in with the Fae, but not all of them. So if you want to take a shot, I will reveal one of these on the combat tracker for you. I
can't.
Yeah, you're about to...
Well,
go ahead.
Here, party. I was going to try to cast Bless before I did that, but I feel like this is happening too fast.
You can apply the Bless to everybody because you were with them before you went back up in here.
Okay.
I'm going to say that you're up in trees. You're not in danger of being meleeed.
Okay.
You guys had enough time to prepare for this properly. I will reveal that hobgoblin.
Yeah.
As all this is coming together, Eldine is going to spend an action to call her heavy crossbow.
Oh, good choice.
To have that at the ready should things come to martial weapons, because she would still prefer not to be right up in the mix.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm so not used to doing this, and I deeply apologize for it.
Okay.
Okay. So, wow, spellcaster people that use Fantasy Grounds. I'm going to open that up.
I like casting spells in it.
How do I target?
You could
Is there a simple way to target them?
How many people can be affected by the Bless?
I believe it's 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Tell me which 3.
3, up to 3. So that's going to be like the front lines. So Teller, because he's Teller the
He's
bold,
doing something.
Teller the brash, Teller the bonkers. So
Oh,
Teller
the rodeo
Mircalla-
clown out here.
Shout out
It's got
Tyler
Teller
the
Barry.
Bold.
Yeah, it's gonna be Teller Mircalla and Eldine.
Okay. There you go. They're targeted now. If you click bless, it'll drop bless on them. Bam.
Cool.
Done.
Okay, thank you.
And now I'm going to clear those targets because you'll need to.
Yeah. And then I'm sneaking towards the hobby.
Well, you can roll initiative, and I hope you roll well. You usually do. And
Wait, I should. Well, so for surprise, technically, like that would be free initiative, right? For the creature to be surprised.
Yeah, that would be true.
So-
but I
So as long as I'm hidden from it, I can technically take a shot at it before initiative. That's
But
Right,
I
so
gave
that-
I gave you the
that-
fork in the road. You could bless your friends, or you could get a free shot, and then possibly
Oh,
get another
okay.
free shot if you. But you bless them.
I see.
But if
No
you
worries.
roll high enough on initiative, you'll accomplish
Cool.
that anyway.
Beautiful.
With the assassination
Beautiful.
ability.
Okay.
Cool. I think it's time.
I'm ready.
At least one of them
Ready.
snorts and sniffs the air at the foul magic. Dropping blessings in these woods.
Alright.
I'm gonna roll for everybody but Dusk. I'm gonna roll for Beezlewood and Crowdan the Wolf, and I'm sending y'all some initiative rolls. Good luck, y'all.
I'll note my map is still just black. I've waited a while and clicked my token. I'm still just black with tokens on it.
Is that true for everybody?
It might just be my slow internet.
No,
Right.
I'm
I need this. I'm gonna.
seeing all black as well.
Really?
So I should have had advantage on that. I think.
Well, if you don't
No?
like the roll,
Well, I can spend an inspiration, but wait. No, Elvin. No, that's a different thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna burn an inspiration because I don't have advantage.
well, let's go with sunlight since it is daytime up in these parts. There.
Roll for it.
I'll reshare the map. Hopefully that fixes it for y'all. 'Cause this is a nice bright
Fantasy
map.
grounds. Thinking hard.
I know.
2 weeks, I should have less bad internet.
Woo woo, municipal fiber. Shout out municipal fiber.
For real. Well, let's see. I might be cursing it in 3 weeks. We'll see.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Empty pockets.
Yeah. Well, do you
I mean,
want
it'd give you a 21.
I saw the 18 you got. We're gonna keep that. If you were
Well, I was gonna burn an inspiration and try to get even higher because that was a kind of garbage roll.
okay, you can. I'll send you another initiative if you want to burn the inspiration.
I burned it. There we go.
That is much better.
Okay.
Now you,
That's
now
more
you
like
will
it,
go
see.
first. And from your vantage, I will not require you to make a perception check to see some of these crouching, hiding folks.
Crouching goblin, hidden hobgoblin,
Hidden bugbear.
hidden warg. Yeah.
Okay. So on the map, which is just blackness still.
I has map now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mine
mine loaded.
populated. So.
Okay.
Oh, I think mine's working. I just got the pinwheel, so I think it's about to
Hey,
happen.
it's chugging.
Yeah.
You're next.
Chugga chug.
In the meantime, I don't know. I just have to read it out.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm not nervous
hey.
about all those invisible math rocks.
That
at all.
was 6 invisible initiative rolls.
Yeah, I'm sure they did poorly and have
Okay.
very, very low hit points.
So-
I'm sure it'll be a breeze.
How about Bob Goblin? Let's see. Hobgoblin 5. Hobgoblin Captain. Well, I just feel like I should take this shot at Hobgoblin Captain.
Okay.
If there are any objections.
Support. I second the motion.
Mm-hmm. So, boop. 18 total do it.
It's a lot of hobgoblins.
If that is a surprise round, that's an automatic crit
Yeah. So
because of that assassin bullshit.
Yeah, assassin bullshit is the best.
not bad.
Do I need to do something mechanically for that?
Yeah. You can
For the auto crit?
Don't forget your sneak attack is also part of that.
Just hit that. Oh, that didn't show up. Hold on. I think I did it wrong.
Go ahead and
There
give
it
us
is.
some hobgoblin noises.
Yes. I don't know how to do the crit, so I don't know what to tell you there. That should have been a crit. It weren't.
You could
Easiest
you
would be
could
just speed times it by 2.
Double it, yeah. It's pretty middle of the road there for damage, so you can just double it. Ooh, the
There's
combat
that
music
music.
coming through.
Yes, please.
Right.
Ooh, it's getting good. Let's do this, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Jeez. And then, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna back out and.
Yeah, let's
again.
rectify that damage. Can you go ahead and roll that again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just roll damage again. That works.
Mhm.
Because if you kill the captain with one shot,
Pretty cool.
Might be a little morale.
Okay,
check there.
so
Cool
it's,
for them.
I'm gonna click sneak attack again, and the critical is applied, or
No,
there's
no,
something I need
it's
to
just
do?
This is how
you're
we're-
gonna add
this is
this
how
with
we're-
the other one.
yeah, this is how we're mimicking a critical.
10-4. 10-4.
Okay. Well, he catches
Oh, I
an
see.
arrow in the chest that buries itself up to the fletching. And he looks up and points,
Uh-huh.
and it seems like he's not indicating to just the squad around him. And he's hurt. He's
Okay.
hurt bad, but he's doing his best to not let it show. What else are you
Okay.
gonna do? I assume you're 30 feet plus up off the ground in one of the lower
Yeah.
tier trees, and doing your best to hide. If you want a bonus action hide, you can do that in this tree.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna either whatever he apprises is most effective, up, down, sideways. Just gonna jet, use that movement, and then bonus action hide for sure.
Okay.
But get a little bit away from the exact place where I am.
Okay. Well, while stealthing, you are limited to being able to only move half of your speed. So you're looking at
Yep.
you can up to, and in the trees, if we count them as difficult terrain, I'm gonna say you can move 2 squares away and stealth in that square. So you can move.
Okay.
You can move 10 feet laterally, while in this tree
Yep.
to try to hide.
Yep.
So you show me where you want to move, and then I will send you a stealth roll.
Yep. I'll move that away towards the party, generally speaking.
And hopefully this works this time. I'm gonna go ahead and send you. And sometimes it's fun to conceal your rolls. Sometimes it's even more fun to just let's see what you get,
Mhm.
because I'm gonna roll a whole bunch of perception checks against it. Yeah, I'm actually not able to send these rolls again.
Oh, annoying.
It happens. It might just be something that happened mid-quark. It's all good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so hit us with an open-ended stealth roll. Let's see what you get.
God, I never have to do that. Au revoir.
You can always drag it to your hotbar, too.
Oh, that should do it.
Okay, 24, not
Oh,
bad.
it's a 24.
Not bad at all. All right, good first turn. Great open to nearly drop one of their leaders.
My favorite part about Flix's upcoming round is that he has already targeted all of them.
Has he?
Yeah.
Classic
Yeah.
Flix.
We
Oh,
know what's
shit.
coming.
Classic
We know
Flix.
what's coming.
I was
Yeah.
running through the combat tracker being like, what's happening? Oh my, Flix has a plan.
They're just so conveniently played.
They really are. Tell us what we've won.
Tell us what
Um,
flavor this fireball is going to be.
What flavor are we wanting? You know, vanilla?
Snoopy Snow Cone Maker.
For starters, to get a better view of the situation, he's gonna fly upwards 30 feet in the air.
Okay, so that's his move.
Yeah. And then, of course, the classic, beautiful, the fireball. But what flavor shall we go with?
Force was nice.
Radiant would be a nice flare.
Radiant would be great.
Yeah, let's go with Radiant, shall we? So, giving everybody a dex save.
The Hobgoblins, I'd just like to point out before they're all smoked. The Hobgoblins got a respectable 21 on their initiative. Oh, that's a lot of saving throw failures.
And
Zot. Okay. Yeah.
Flix, have I mentioned I'm glad you're back?
and as a bonus action, might as well summon my tome.
Might as well.
Just in case there's any hidden squads.
He makes a tiny nuke, pulls the book, and he's like, write this down. You like to write things down, jabroni.
So the tome is where my arrow's pointing at the moment.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, the bugbear lit?
No. I just haven't gotten around to deleting him.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, of the ones that are not instant dead,
All of
They
them
are
instant
still have
died.
a
Every
status dying.
last one of them was
no, the
smoked.
ones that the hobgoblin there that took half damage didn't instant die, but he died immediately.
Huh. All right. Nicely done. So where are all those noises coming from?
Yeah. A diversion task force.
How deep
What?
is this
A
water?
second wave?
How deep is this water? At its deepest, waist deep on a medium creature. A small creature could hop along the bottom and still breathe, but it would be difficult terrain for them. And it's gentle. It's not a fast-moving stream at all. All right, Hobgoblin 6 is
Oh, they have the same initiative. Okay.
is pointing at the clustering of sudden problems to deal with that even though everybody was being observed, or at least everybody knew you were in the area, you still affected them greatly with this bold plan of murder the captain damn near and then explode the entire vanguard.
With holy radiant energy.
Yeah. A sudden chorus of angels just sings for half a second, and then whoop, and they're all just smoke.
The little Pikmin ghost little...
They are going to all draw longbows and shoot at Flix. Now, the good news is Flix, they're going to get -2 because you have a little bit of cover from the trees between you and them. And I know you. You're totally gonna cast shield.
Am I?
I'm going to be crit fishing either way, man. That's my only hope. The cool thing about hobgoblins, there's so many. I really love them. I hope I get to play them someday. They are better in groups. I'm not gonna say anything. Here comes an arrow. Ooh, goes shots wide. And then 4, 5, splashing through the water. 6, drawing their longsword as they go. Second one takes a shot. Also a miss. Same plan though. The last one takes a shot. You know, if they could roll higher than 6, folks might fear the words hobgoblins
Your dice
attack.
got the ick, man.
They totally do. He decides to take advantage of diagonals not meaning anything in this, and he also does the same. And it is Beezlewood's turn. All right, Beezlewood, hiding up in the trees. Let's see what you got going on. Looks like you have multi-attack, and you're going to throw a whole bunch of darts at the closest one. It's okay, it's your first day. And you scored a hit. Nice. Nice.
7 points of damage, and that hobgoblin is heavy.
Yeah, it was a big
Is
dart.
that-
Beezlewood had a good turn.
We probably got a lot of them.
Popping up
Yeah.
from the cluster of ruins and rubble
One might could say a horde.
is a goblin the likes of which you have not seen. They begin walking forward in gray robes. They look like they've been starved, or perhaps they were fasting for some sort of dark, fey enlightenment. Some of the tribes of hobgoblins made pacts with the fey forces to learn how to defeat them. Some of the goblins did it first.
Can LD get a Arcana check? See if any of this rings any heebie-jeebie bells?
As they walk out over the water, on your turn, yes. As they walk out over the water, you see that their feet just drag the surface of the stream, causing little wakes and ripples as they float.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. It's not happening. I hate it.
And they're just
Yo, I
moving.
got an auntie like this.
They're just
You don't want to
moving.
mess with her.
The other auntie.
You know that menthol kiss smell.
As soon as you said it. The more
Who ain't got
120s,
that auntie?
the Moors in the green box. Looks like they are approaching to support the task at hand. Alright, Eldine, I'll let you make that as a freebie. Go ahead and let me see if I can send it, but I'm having trouble. Try a little,
Yeah, no worries. You let me know if or when you want me to do.
try a little bit, yeah, it's not working. So yeah, Arcana, go ahead, DC 15. Get a 20, tell you more. Get a 25, tell you everything.
Let's see how she do. How about that there?
how about
How about that?
25?
Told you I had this auntie. I know this auntie.
She
You gotta
knows
look out
a
for
thing or
this.
two about these.
It's like, yeah. I heard
Said
about
it.
y'all.
She always moving her trailer because her lot rent ain't never paid up.
But what she got in exchange for not paying her lot fees and throwing in with dark forces all year was a glimpse into the void. Now Auntie's just the shape of what a goblin used to be, but all that's inside is the energy that replaced her. These are goblins that stared a little too long into that void. They may have gained some strange powers because of it, but at what price? At what price? These are Chaos Spawn goblins. They have the ability to attack you psychically if they get close enough. And they appear to use a form of telekinesis or levitation to float so they ignore difficult terrain and the like as they float towards you. They're coming close so they can give you that menthol kiss, and it's so bad you can smell it at 30 feet. You roll a 25, I'll give you everything, like I said. So watch out, they have a psychic attack with 30-foot range. It's your turn. Nicely done.
As a free action, I let everybody know. She'll play mind games with you if she gets within 30 feet. That
Well,
should
that's
be
perfect for Teller.
No resistances though. We know.
On that everything for 25.
Hang on. I'm feeling kind of giving. They're sneaky, they're stealthy, which obviously they were hidden on the map for so long. They are also still goblin enough to get the nimble escape, disengage or hide. At a bonus
Tricky
action.
bastards. No offense, Eldine.
They
No
also
taken. I told you, don't trust this, Auntie.
they have multi-attack and no particular. Well, they're resistant to psychic damage, and they're immune to being frightened because they've already stared at the void.
All right. So now the actual business of my turn. What to do? It is a target-rich environment out here.
Sure is.
Yeah, I don't like this Auntie 3. Menthol 3. What we call her Parliament.
More 120s, Parliament, and Cools.
Madam Parliament McWhirters.
Madam Parliament McWhirters.
Okay, we're gonna... What?
Paid their lot fees by staring into the void, yes.
Oh, that was, I mean,
Is this
inspiration
about
to the
to-
DM. That was
No,
beautiful.
that wasn't me. That was who was Jenny Durden from the chat?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Good.
It's about to turn into
Oh.
trailer park goblins up in here, though.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
think it already
sorry,
did.
not sorry. I'm feeling real in touch with my roots lately. Here we go. I want to
You're still coming back for Ambrosia and Rummy 500, right, honey?
in my
The
hex.
snacks on the mahjong table have definitely changed.
These gummy bears taste funny.
Don't worry about it. They're good for you.
Why don't you
They're
go watch
vitamins.
TV? Here's a blanket. Now, Eldine, I would be remiss in my duties as a DM if I did not remind you that if you want to make a more aggressive perception check in any direction, you may do so. And you would do so at advantage if you wanted to scan about, see if there's more
Oh yeah.
120s hiding in the corridors.
Virginia Slims. Oh, they're not menthol. Oh.
Did Virginia Slims not make a menthol?
Neither did
Sure
Parliament,
did.
did they?
Oh, they might have.
Oh, Parliament definitely did.
Okay.
Parliament had all kinds of them. Yeah.
Parliament's the way to go on that one.
There's more goblins hiding.
Okay. Eh. Lord, there's a lot of them.
Horde. Somebody said horde. I think it was you.
I think it was. You could take a goblin out the horde, but you can't take the horde out the goblin sometimes. When the king come around, you just know. You just know.
So many goblins.
Okay, Lord, what am I? Yeah, very target-rich environment.
And I thought, Flix is probably going to fireball the Vanguard.
And
But it's the right thing to do because that squad would have swept in and terribly inconvenienced all of you.
And now we get to inconvenience these bastards first before
All about
they
the
further
inconvenience
inconvenience
now.
us.
LD,
right,
you
so-
don't make an attack or some such?
Yeah, we're getting there. I apologize.
Okay. We're just hanging out, but there's all these
Yeah,
enemies.
right.
Right, so alright, Hexblade's Curse on Parliament 3 here, whatever, the one that's getting up close to Beazlewood.
Okay.
As bonus action, and then let's see how this crossbow do. There's that bag of bones. And nastiness.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. A dirty 30.
I think a 30 is a hit.
You think? Yeah, I think it do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Decent
Well,
damage too. 8 points of
okay.
damage. So
Okay.
that bolt went right through them and didn't appear to really register. They're not undead, but
They're just
they
driving
move like,
these meat sacks
yeah,
around.
but they move
They
like
don't
they're
care.
undead.
They're a different kind of living.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. And I don't think I want to move. I think I'm gonna hang out back here and see how this evolves, and I will advance the combat tracker.
Let me go ahead and
Alright.
give you control of
Dusk.
and change his initiative to
After me.
one close enough to you for him to be on the combat tracker with you.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Merkala moves in right here.
Okay.
And she activates her Ring of Spell Storing, channeling some of Teller's bardic magic. You actually see
nice.
a rare glint in her crimson eyes as she says, "Have I ever told you about the Have I ever told you about the satyr and the courtesan?" And she's gonna psychic blast them.
Yes! Thank you for doing that. That is absolutely the way Teller always starts stories.
Okay. We got 3 fails and a success. The Chaos Spawn Goblin also failed.
And it's force damage, not
Ooh!
psychic, so even better.
Oh.
And
Oh
they're
my
knocked.
goodness.
If they're still alive, they're knocked away, I think.
If he's
Right,
still
Teller?
in there, he ain't happy.
No, I've got it open because it's exactly
They're
what I was
prone,
going
right?
to do.
They're prone afterwards.
I think
Where's
they're all
the thing?
dead.
Oh.
They're all dead except for the Chaos Spawn Goblin.
They're all dead. Yeah,
Oh.
and the Chaos Spawn
Yes!
Goblin, did it make it save or no?
I see everyone dead.
Dead, dying.
Yeah, I
they
see
all
now.
went down.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
all of them.
That's right. You were targeting. You got them all.
Oh. They all just. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're blown back by the psychic power as
Unleashed
well.
a can of raid on the ass. It's just God.
And then bonus action, she commands Duff to attack. He moves in and attacks
Yes.
that one right there.
Okay.
And you did say I can use like things like my lucky points and my inspiration for Dusk's attacks as well because he's technically part of my character.
I like that. I would
Yeah,
allow
okay.
it with any ranger. I mean, a
Okay.
ranger not being able to share that shit with their animal companion.
Yeah,
That-
or like
no,
a
that's-
chain warlock if I was a chain warlock. You know, anyone with a pet, right? That's
Right.
what they're devoting their stuff to. Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, Circle
Uh,
of the Shepherds Druids are like the master pet druids. I would allow it for them too. I think that's what they're called. But totally.
And I'm spending a point of lucky because I just like it when Dusk hits. And he goes in after the Chaos Spawn.
Oh,
It did
got it.
16 is what it takes, I believe.
It did apply a blast, and he probably shouldn't be blasting because he is a separate character.
Oh, because it's your roll. I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, and let me see. I don't think a 12 is gonna hit. I'm sorry.
No, a 12 probably didn't hit.
Armor class is 13 on them, so
Close enough.
Close.
But not,
D4,
yeah.
D4, D4. You're blessed.
Well,
But he-
no,
but
but
Dusk
isn't.
Dusk is not. Dusk is
Oh.
a separate
I'll-
character
I'll
for
let you.
that.
I'll
So
let you
stupid.
share your inspiration and stuff, but the bless.
Yeah, you
is a
can't share
separate target.
blast. Yeah, for
He moves
for
in.
real.
He
Yeah.
moves in and tries to snap at this thing, and obviously it flutters out of its grasp this time. And Mercala is finished.
Okay, it's still a damn good turn. You took 3 off the board, or was it 4?
Very
They're all
good.
they're all dead. All right, Teller.
The satyr and the courtesan, you say, says Teller, as he continues his dance forward, doing a twirl around Dusk to end up in the proper position for his own psionic blast. Let's see here.
Prove that.
Target. Boom. Target. Boom. I think that's both of them. Yep, looking good. Psionic Blast is...
Oh, you don't. You should stop. You've targeted them multiple times now. There we go. I got you.
Okay, thank you.
We got
And that
one
would be
fail, 2
Two
fails.
fails.
Oh,
Let's drop that Van damage. Yes.
stank.
Whoa.
Aw.
The satyr and the courtesan, you say? As they just evaporate out in front of him. I haven't heard that one.
Mhm.
It's been so long since I've heard a news story. And then Teller will... let's see. Bardic Inspiration Dust. Because he's a good boy. And we all
Awesome.
like it when he hits.
Nice.
Let me see.
Puffs
Where's
up
that?
his
Where's
chest
that?
and
Where's
flaps
that?
his wings.
He hits like a greatsword now.
There we go. And then Teller will move up one more time to the top of this rock.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh huh.
And he will reserve his reaction and stay right there.
Go ahead and take yourself a perception check. I'm looking for a DC. Let's just make it in the open, shall we? Looking for a DC 20.
Ouch. Okay, let's spend this inspiration and
Because you
roll it
climbed
at
up on the rock.
advantage. And we're gonna go perception. Come on, perception. Yes! How about a 20 and an 18?
You have the perfect vantage point, and you see somebody fade into appearance as their hands begin to swirl about, casting a spell.
Oh no.
A
There's the real
devastator.
bad.
That can't be
I love
good.
That
that.
sounds friendly, Devastator.
Where is
I don't
it?
think it'll be a problem. I mean,
He's on the other.
Oh, I see him
He's on
now.
the far
Always been
shore.
cold worse.
He's on the far shore.
he's on the far shore.
Dang it, we're about to have a rack of these goblins' turns too.
The Devastator is not on the map, right?
He is. He's on the far shore around
Yeah.
Way past the
bend.
ends.
Hold up.
Swoop out.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's all the way over here.
You can still shoot
Okay.
at him. It's just long
Yeah.
range with your short bow.
Not before he gets
Okay.
to take his turn.
Yeah, he'll probably get closer on his turn.
All right, good turn, Teller. You spotted a new bad guy.
Very
That's
good.
actually pretty cool. You can even say, "They got a wizard."
He says, "Empty pockets, caster."
And
I
Crodan
know
goes,
exactly what to do.
I'm on it, and starts running, booking,
Nice.
faster than you thought a dwarf could move.
I love this fucking dwarf. Look at his
Run
tiny
up,
little
get,
legs go.
run up, get
Look at him
done
go.
up is what I'm
It's
calling that
adorable.
guy.
Look at
He runs up to the edge of the shore, leaps across, splashing only at the far side, and moves in to engage the goblins here.
Oh, we're keeping that one.
Love this guy. Love this guy.
Battle axe in one hand, dagger in an underhanded grip. He claps them, and he just leers at them, trying to get them to focus on him. Goblin 6 is all too happy to oblige with his scimitar in hand. And he hits Crodan. Crodan looks down and goes, "Is that all you got?" Goblin 1 has other designs. He's thinking more about shooting the goat on the rock. It's just a mere 45 feet away. What's the range on the old shorty bow? Yeah, I think he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Do you say Goblin 6?
Goblin 1.
That's going to be at disadvantage anyway,
Why is that?
because he's engaged in melee with Crodan.
No, Goblin 1. Goblin 6 attacked Crodan. Goblin 1,
Oh, Goblin
over-
1 and the other
over
group.
in the rubble.
Never mind. I got my numbers
That's
mixed up.
okay.
Carry on.
he missed. I'm carrying on with the missing. Don't mind me. Also gonna shoot at Teller. That one's a 21.
Except Teller will call on the protection of his grandmother once again.
And,
Cast shield.
of course he will. Let me give you back your 6 hit points. I was all too eager to apply.
Appreciate ya.
What was I thinking? Damage this party?
That's. I mean, you almost killed us a couple sessions here in a row. So
That's true. That's true.
not last session, but the one before that, 100%. Yeah.
Thanks. My cat just leapt off my little table here. Goblin 3 is not going to be the one to do it. Goblin 4, however, thinks that Flix is the better target. Flix has a little bit of the old coveroo. Ooh, that was almost a cause worth fighting for. Goblin 5 is going to attack Crodan. Crodan's plan worked. Oh,
No, not Crodan.
and then he's going to bonus action disengage and drop back here and draws his short bow under a little bit of cover.
Beautiful.
Hobgoblin Devastator, on the other hand, well,
Hi.
he's got what
He's
you
my new friend.
he's got what you expect him to have. How big's a fireball?
20.
Yeah, he's going to target Teller and Mirkala, Dusk, and Beazlewood.
There is a 60
Okay.
foot indicator sitting next to Beazlewood there. What is that?
That's
That
Flix's
is
rangefinder.
where my tome is. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Carry on.
And
Oh fuck! From all the way over there too.
yeah,
I
It's
just
a very
realized
long range spell.
something. Sandy's
Mhm.
cursed target.
I forget about
sorry,
that.
Eldine's cursed target got obliterated, so she gets some temporary hit points, but that's relatively minor.
not to not to Eldine.
I mean,
it's
not right now. It's not.
Eldine's not in the AOE of this fireball, but Eldine, how many is that?
I believe it's 7 hit points. Let's see, where is it? Oh, I didn't run up my stuff.
Okay, well, I'll give you 7 for now. And he begins swirling his hands around. You see that there's a little tiny piece of rolled up bat shit that begins spiking like a Pharaoh fluid as it catches fire. And he motions and it goes sailing through the trees. And as it crosses the last shore, ignites. And we'll see you next week.
No!
So, we're gonna go ahead and roll that then.
Fuck!
Brody, son of a bitch.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You can see why I was a little concerned. This is just the opening act of what is the schemes of the bad guys. Love this crew. Love that everybody showed up. Thank you so much for everybody that's here. Handbasket's still in motion. You know, check us out next week. We're gonna have hobgoblins growling the whole time, and check us out next week. We're gonna same time, same channel. Next week will be episode 13 of this season. So if anything's gonna go bad,
Unlucky 13.
it's I've got a lot more dice to roll, so I'm gonna roll garbage too. But something's gonna get through. Something's gonna take this party down.
We are slowly being pulled through the sieve.
Gonna be all ones.
It's time. I'm gonna drop some thanks in there, but we're not gonna do high lows. I'm gonna say, what do you hope is the? No, that's too easy. We're gonna say, what are you afraid is going to happen? What are you afraid you're gonna face next session? And it could just be, like a disapproving father figure. It could be a loss of all your hit points. It could be a failed saving throw. Dominate person. Who knows? But we're gonna go ahead and start with Flicks this time, and tell us what you're hoping not to face, what you least want to see. And that's not me building it; it's already written.
Well, least want to see all of my wonderful friends falling at once. Like, that would just be tragic. Plus, there's always just something so dramatic about seeing the spells you've used effectively uh, being turned against you, and so yeah, I'm hoping you roll low, but I am hoping to see a nice little wizard battle. That would be pretty entertaining.
I would like that and hope my bad guy lives for 2 rounds ever. Awesome. Pick your victim.
How about Kelton?
I think the thing that Empty would least like to see is this fucking hobgoblin wizard lasting more than a couple of rounds once Empty gets close enough to it to take a shot or 3. He's gonna use hopefully some things that he has in the chamber that he hasn't really used yet. So he's gonna be very invested in this little buddy over here. Yeah, and I hope we don't all die. So, Sandy, what you got?
Yeah, I think my biggest concern, my fear for next session also stems from our new friend, the Devastator. My worry is if we don't kill him quick, we end up having to face whatever powers might be at his call, because he's probably got some heavy duty spell slots to call forth some nasty shenanigans from this plane or others. Yeah, so I hope we don't have to deal with that. I hope we kill him quick. Let's see. We'll throw it to Nick. What you got?
Oh, well, so one of the times Asmo killed one of my characters, it was in a double fireball situation. One fireball right after the other. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't want to die. I'd hate to see us being taken out right here. But, we'll see where the dice fall. I don't think I'm gonna die, so there's that. Hey, so Teller, lay it on us.
Teller doesn't think he's gonna die either. And he thinks that Devastator is going to die. I mean, clearly everybody's got a little action there. Teller's got his own plan to get immediately up close and personal. To do a little damage himself and to help out Empty Pockets, do a little extra damage himself. But that's not
Yeah.
really the real worry. None of these goblinoids are the real worry. What is Teller afraid of? Teller is afraid that the forces arrayed against them are so vast and so powerful and so nefarious that we will arrive at what we see to be an end battle, and it is in fact only the beginning. And all of the forces that we saw as potential allies are in fact arrayed against us. And the world is on a path towards destruction.
Hell.
If any of
Yes.
you
That
have ever
everything we know
secretly
of
made
home,
like an insight check on Empty Pockets, he has been assuming that forever.
since day one. Yeah.
That we're all
Yeah.
doomed. We're on
Yes.
the doomed
Well,
course.
know that this whole place is circling the drain.
Yeah.
Or becoming something that it was not.
Teller doesn't believe that it is true, but he knows it is a distinct possibility.
Yeah, and
there are a lot of
I think that
powerful
might be a
forces
distinct
in
like
very
role-playing thing.
delicate balance right now,
Mhm.
and we're just on the leading edge of finding out what is actually happening. These hobgoblins, we might die here, we might not. They don't matter. These
Yeah,
goblins
they don't matter.
don't matter. Yeah,
Ultimately,
I-
they're minions.
yeah, yeah.
Just bunch of minions. It's just
Yep.
like
Yeah.
it's the first level approaching the castle or whatever.
Yep.
But
Don't
I do
forget to
think
tip your
that, like-
goblins, everyone.
Role-playing wise, like back at the well, like when Teller and Empty had that interaction,
Yeah.
there was a sidecar of like,
Yeah, coming from
You
opposite
know.
directions and meeting in the
Mhm.
same place. Yeah,
because
Yeah.
everyone expects Empty to be like concerned with gutter rat nonsense, but like you've learned enough about him now, and he's like, it's fucking coming, man. Like
he's more
it's-
of a DMT head, is what he is.
yeah, for real.
You
Yeah,
think
no,
he's a pothead, but it's only
Mhm.
DMT in that pipe.
Well,
yeah, he's ready for
His
it.
influence in the luck plane because it's Habafropizipiolops.
But,
Right.
but it is interesting that like this is, you can tell that this is what he assumed would happen.
Yeah.
Like he's not surprised by anything
I wonder if we'll find out if he's
at this
right
point.
soon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see.
So I got some more thanks. Thanks to Paul Messier for our theme song, which slaps. Kevin McLeod for other music. Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds, Dungeon Alchemist, Hexographer, Dungeon Draft for our maps. Thank you to Sirenscape. If you want professional sound in your games, check them out. It's absolutely awesome. I feel like it was really, really clutch tonight. We've been enjoying the Dragonlance
right.
Shadow of the Dragon Queen First Mission soundboard. It's got hobgoblins. It's got great nature sounds. So that's what we went with tonight. It really, really helped fill in and make it feel like an environment. I dropped the attributions there. Check them out. And thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna keep on trucking, tunneling through the holidays every Wednesday night. This campaign will just go right through until the end of the year. And episode 20 should fall on the last Wednesday of the year. Let's see if we make it. If we make it. If not, maybe we'll do something else. You know, who knows? But thanks for joining us, and check us out. Not this Saturday, but next. Get to play some more Pathfinder 2nd Edition in Papa Kev's game. Really looking forward to that. It's always a good time. And we're working on something, a little secret project for the end of the year. A Star Wars 5e one-shot. And we're calling it the Heathen Cantina Holiday Special. I'll be the DM for that. I've run some Star Wars before. We'll share more details of that as time goes on our Discord. That reminds me, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link. If you want to join our Discord and you're not already on there, join it.
Come say hi.
Come say hi. We've got one-shots. We do pickup games. Sometimes we just say, hey, we're going to play some video games together. But check us out in there if you would. Thank you,
So
everybody.
many dumb jokes.
And so many great memes. Don't let your dreams just be
Oh.
memes. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.